What is a growth mindset? The idea of a growth mindset was first introduced and shared by psychologist Carol Dweck in her book called Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. In recent years, schools and educators alike have popularized this idea through their various attempts to teach students about the distinction between fixed and growth mindsets. Dweck defines a fixed mindset as one where people believe their basic qualities, like their intelligence or talent, are simply fixed traits. Dweck's research suggests that students who have adopted a fixed mindset believe that they are either smart or dumb and there's no way to change it. However, those with a growth mindset believe that their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, in which brains and talent are just the starting point. Those who embrace a growth mindset and practice hard work and perseverance may retain more information and retain it at a faster rate than most students. Not only that, but they can develop a positive mindset in which they view their failures as a way to improve their skills. The book Make Your Bed begins with the speaker Admiral William H. McRaven describing the barracks in which he resided in during his SEAL training for the U.S. Navy. He elaborates on the high standards that Navy SEALs are held to, as they are expected to keep their rooms spotless and make their beds every morning. McRaven explains that making his bed was the first task of his day and demonstrated his discipline, adding that, at the end of the day, it would be a reminder that he had done something well, and it was something he knew he could count on. No matter where he was stationed, whether it be in the White House or the Baghdad airfield, he started his day with the simple task of making his bed. McRaven goes on to explain the value of teamwork, as he learned early on that he could not make it through training or combat without his fellow SEALs. Whenever he experienced setbacks, he stressed the importance of having friends to help him out and remind him of his potential and abilities. Throughout the book, he explains that the uncertainties and unfairness in life should not drive one to give up, but rather drive them to become stronger in the process. McRaven used a considerable amount of depth when taking personal anecdotes and turning them into valuable lessons. I agree with his advice to never give up on one's aspirations, and I think he offers extensive insight through the lessons he learned in SEAL training. The book, The Power of Positive Thinking, begins with speaker Norman Vincent Peale encouraging readers to believe in themselves and have faith in their abilities. He explains that self-confidence will not only lead to success and achievement, but also self-realization. Peale elaborates that having faith in one's powers and having faith in God's plan can bring on a new feeling of attainment. He believes that to get anywhere with faith, you must learn to pray big prayers. Peale suggests that self-improvement is rooted beneath the belief in God's plan for each and every person, and that a positive, confident attitude can help tear down any obstacles in the way of success. He advises readers to not build up obstacles in their imagination and to understand that self-knowledge leads to a cure. Later on, Peale draws a distinction between an ear full of trouble and a mind full of peace in order to illustrate the power of a relaxed attitude and the tranquility one can experience from a positive mindset. He begins telling another anecdote about a friend who achieved serenity from finding faith. Through the trials and tribulations he initially endured in life, he now ultimately follows the laws of God and is a healthy, happy man who has peace in his heart and mind. Peale stressed the common misconception that people deserve punishment when they sin, when in fact God forgives all who ask for his forgiveness. In order to renew one's zest for life, one must seek guidance and find a rhythm in their day-to-day functions. The novel Brain on Fire begins with the introduction of main character and speaker Susanna Cahalan, a 24-year-old New York City native. At the time, there was a bedbug breakout in New York City that plagued many city dwellers. Cahalan noticed 2 insect bites on her arm and became paranoid instantly, so she hired a pest exterminator to visit her apartment. However, just a few weeks later, she began to experience hallucinations, paranoia, and a plethora of other emotional and physical problems. Her boyfriend and parents noticed the strange behavior and encouraged her to visit the hospital. Doctors insisted that her test results were normal and there was no evidence that she was diseased. After her conditions worsened, a more experienced doctor assisted her and determined that the right side of her brain was inflamed. This rare condition left her body in a weakened state as her antibodies were continually attacking her brain. The message of the novel is seemingly explained in a single quote: "To move forward, you have to leave the past behind." This quote highlights a rare mindset in the present day. Oftentimes, people will dwell on the past events and find it difficult to move past them, but this quote stresses the fact that you cannot fully move on if you do not leave the past behind. Many people will hold grudges or blame their misfortune on previous events, when in fact they can live a fruitful life if they stop focusing on negative experiences. Overall, Cahalan provides an insightful perspective on life and how to transform a negative mindset and focus on the positive. All 3 books relate back to the idea of a growth mindset and improving one's character through positive thinking and overcoming obstacles. As you may recall, a growth mindset is one where people believe their most basic abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work, in which a lack of brains and talent are obstacles that can be overcome. In the book Make Your Bed, the author William McRaven explains that success depends on starting your day with a simple act that you can count on. In doing so, one can have a positive start to their day and be determined to put in effort in other areas of their life. This relates to a growth mindset because it can help one overcome trials and tribulations and encourage them to persevere the many challenges that life throws at them. In The Power of Positive Thinking, author Norman Vincent Peale teaches readers that a positive, confident attitude can help tear down any obstacles in the way of success and achievement. Peale urges readers to find their passion and invest themselves in it as a source of energy. He elaborates that those who believe in their abilities put more energy into learning and feel far more empowered and committed. In the novel Brain on Fire, author Susanna Cahalan explains her experience as she fought for her life and realized that unfortunate circumstances can have positive outcomes and help one grow in the process. She believes that dwelling on misfortunes will lead one to live a negative and sorrowful life. If one believes in themselves and has the strength to overcome challenges, they will ultimately find themselves stronger and more determined in life. All three books explain that the methods one can use to acquire a growth mindset and stress the importance of learning from one's mistakes. They all encourage readers to mature and grow as individuals. Ultimately, taking on a growth mindset is a common idea in all three books, as they offer exceptional advice to improving time efficiency and negative thoughts. I hope to continue learning about improving one's attitude and the steps to create a more diligent worker.